So the last thing I want to do right now is work on cleaning out and organizing this shop. But I'm worried that if I don't do it, it's not going to do itself. So I guess I've got to get in here and do it. It's kind of a hectic week. Tomorrow morning, we're finally closing on the house. I've spent a lot of time this week working on that. I've been sick. I got the new diet thing going and just not feeling it. But we're going to make progress tonight. And the first thing I've got to do, right now, before I turn the camera on, I was sweeping up all the sawdust over here. I'm going to move all my woodworking tools over into this corner right here to open up that area for the wood storage. So here you have an entire woodworking shop that can make basically anything I'd ever want to make, packed into one tight little corner. Now, if everything here was on a really nice set of wheels and casters, and I could just roll it out whenever I want, this would be perfect for me, because then I could still utilize all the rest of this. But right now, some of these items are a little bit hard to move, so I'll have to work on that. And I've got one more major piece to my woodworking puzzle that I've got to sort out what to do with. The last thing is the panel saw, which is back here. And it takes up a lot of wall space. And there's so much clutter and junk here. So basically, I'm going to have to shut the camera off, spend a couple hours sorting out extension cords and socket sets and just all of this clutter and debris. Get that all sorted, and then I'll be able to make a decision and get this panel saw placed. Some of this stuff's kind of sentimental. I mean, starting my business up was life-changing. It was incredible. And I don't want to run that business again, but it's part of me kind of misses it, or just the memories of certain parts of it. Like, you know, we built 12,000 portable pitching mounds, and every single one of them was assembled on this table. It was brought here from our other house when we were building them in my basement. I was kind of keeping things that this table and the one in the back corner I was keeping because they were kind of sentimental. But I've got to have this organized. I just can't keep always looking for my tools and walking around stuff. I've got to get it cleaned up. That means taking that apart and burning most of it for scrap. Operating in a tight space, you never have as much room as you think you do. There was one time I thought I could bring the tractor in here with a pallet and turn and set it off to the side, and it was all open like this. Not happening. This little machine is as small as it gets, so it can maneuver in here a little bit. Well, that's kind of frustrating. I put the wrong memory card in the camera, and sometime while I was trying to get that table out of here, my memory card got full. And I kind of had a hard time getting it out of it. The table was just a few inches, like 4 inches longer than the width of the door. Plus there's little bits that stick in from the actual width of the door. So I had a hard time. I finally got it out. Got a couple more little spots here. Then we're going to move the panel saw. Oh man, this is all taking longer than I thought. But when you got all that little stuff, it's all got to be sorted. Tells me not to let it get like this again. So on this wall, we're getting pretty close. I think I'm going to leave all these clamps hanging here. This wood's going to go, but not until I get all the other wood stacked. So all I've really got to deal with is this little wooden workbench and the drill press. Now, I've already set up a metalworking area at the front of the shop, and I think this grinder and the drill press belong up there, and so does the vise. But I broke the vise, actually. Snapped it right off. So, I'm going to have to get a new vise. But when I started, we didn't have a lot of money, but we had scrap materials. And we built all of our tables out of wood. Now, I've got 4 big, nice metal workbenches in here. And I just don't need these anymore. So that one's going to get torn down too. And I'm piling up a bunch of scrap metal to haul off. And so I guess the vise is going to get hauled off. But I'll unbolt this, take it back to the welding table, take the drill press back to the welding table, and then we're ready to finally move the panel saw. Now that that's over there, I get to sweep up the sawdust here, get that all clear. I can start moving all my lumber into this corner, which frees up the rest of the shop. We're making huge progress. I wish it was as good as it looks, but actually there's a lot of work left to be done. So it has been a long day, and most of the time when I come out to work in the shop, I'm always listening to a podcast, I'm watching YouTube videos, or I'm watching a football game. Really, I've got it playing on a tablet that's leaned over in the corner, and I'm just listening to it, but I can't see it. So I decided if I'm going to spend that much time out here, might as well put a TV in the corner. I think it'll sit there without getting broken. Let's hope. All right, I'm going to call it a night, and tomorrow I've got a lot more to do. All right, so I skipped ahead quite a bit without recording anything. I'll give you the quick tour now. So, as you saw at the beginning, I got all my woodworking equipment packed over here. Now, I've got some woodworking I've got to get done, and when I go to start, it's going to take me 20 minutes to pull the tractor and the mini skid steer out of here and roll that equipment out here to work. But it's a lot better than what we had before. So now I've got this machine parked in here and that machine parked in here. All day while I worked, I had the football games on, which makes it kind of a little less tedious doing work you don't want to do. Then we've got some lumber stacks in here drying. This is an area that still needs work. This is basically the majority of the stuff that we sorted into categories and put into boxes and bins, but it's not completely organized. But basically, 90% of everything on this side is all bolts, screws, hardware. Then over here, we've got electrical supplies and just some miscellaneous tools. Everything here is for metalwork. The actual welder's over here in the corner by the air compressor. So here's the hay wagon project. And basically nothing's happened with the hay wagon because I haven't had the space to work in here. I basically couldn't even get over here to do anything. Then I've got this table here. I've actually got 3 of these tables. And then this is the 4th one. But there's 2 tables there. One right side up and then one upside down. And those boards on top of it is the wood for the hay wagon. Okay, I've also got the skid steer parked in here. All 3 machines parked in here, and it doesn't even take away from my ability to work. There's all kinds of projects I could do with the machines in here, but it's so easy to clear it out, and the place is almost empty if I just drive the 3 machines out. The shelves are not done. There's a half organized system over there where everything's grouped into categories. I'll have a whole nother day of just kind of sorting everything and really getting it fine-tuned. But mainly, I'm pretty excited to have this kind of progress done and to be able to look at it and say I've got all this floor space, even with the machines parked in here. I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.